Hi everyone, I'm Ava and I'm an American living here in the Netherlands. And today I wanted to share with you some Dutch sweets and treats. But before we do that, I need to make a run to the supermarket. Almost forgot my sunglasses. Okay, so I have just gone out to the supermarket and I bought a ton of stuff. I counted, they're sitting in a pile in front of me, and I want to say I bought 7 different things that I want to share with you today. Now, some of these things I've had before and I love, so I just wanted to share what I like. These things you can't find in the US, so of course I thought it was interesting to share. Now, I also thought I'd add a little twist to this video. There's obviously so many things out there still. When I go to the supermarket, I'm like completely overwhelmed with how many pastries or snacks that I can choose from. So I asked my girlfriend to pick a couple out for me, and I haven't had these before. So those will be a blind test. So it'll be a combination of things that I enjoy, that I've had before, and new things that I'm going to try for the first time. You know what? I'm hungry. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with this little guy. This is a boterkoek, a butter cookie, which sounds delicious. I mean, and this one already just looks like a slab of butter. So I've had this before, but never the store-bought version. I've only had it when my girlfriend has made it for me. Haha. Also, last time I said my girlfriend so much in a video, people started leaving comments at the bottom saying, hashtag say her name. Believe you me, if she gave me permission to say her name, I would be shouting it at the rooftops. I would be shouting it on this video. Anyway, she exists, and she decided that I was gonna try a boterkoek. She knew that I'd had one before. But let's see what the store-bought version tastes like. Oh my god, this is like a slab of butter and cake. Okay, her version of course was better because it was homemade, and you know, she's a pretty decent cook and baker. So I chose my girlfriend correctly there. So this is way more buttery than the one she had made, even though that one had a lot of butter in it. I saw her literally throwing slabs of butter in that one. But this, I think butter to me is the overwhelming flavor, and then it's sweet. So I can see how it would go really well with coffee or tea. If you're a tea person, I like my coffee. So, okay. Boterkoek, pretty good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rate the 7 things that I had today, even though they're so different. I don't even know if that makes sense to do, but you know what? My video, my rules. Okay, the next snack I have for you today is honestly one that I've not been looking forward to trying because it has a ton of raisins in it. Oh my god, so many raisins. Can you guess what it is? I bet you can. It is a krentenbol. So for those of you who don't know, this is like a bun, and it looks like an innocent bun until you notice the things that are in it that are bumpy, and those things are raisins. And honestly, it's one of the things that I don't like about a lot of the Dutch sweets, that they have a lot of raisins in them. It's just because I don't like raisins. I mean, you could be someone who likes raisins and that's fine, but if you don't like raisins, a krentenbol is like just so not for you. So my girlfriend definitely picked this out for me. I would not have chosen to put myself through this. It's not that bad, but it's definitely not one of my favorite things. And fun fact about this, the krentenbol is actually the first thing that I had in the Netherlands. My first time in the Netherlands, literally within the first 5 minutes, it's the first thing I bought because I was so hungry and I didn't know better. This was 5 years ago. And I put it in my mouth unsuspectingly, and then the next thing you know is like, raisins. I bet that's gonna happen today. Okay, well, let's see what these krentenbollen taste like. So many raisins. So many raisins in one bite. Oh, those raisins are, they're not totally dried out. It's just like when you squish them, but you know what? this must be exposure therapy because it's not as bad as I remember it. And usually when I bite into raisins, it's sort of like, I really cannot continue eating this. But maybe this is exposure therapy. I feel like I've had enough things with raisins in them that I'm slowly starting to find them not bad, not delicious, but also not totally disgusting. So that is a win. You see this with the amount of raisins in them, that would not go down well in the US because there are just so many people who don't like raisins. It's a very common thing. So I find this interesting that Dutch folk just throw them into like, you name it. You could just have them in something and they won't even specify that raisins are in them because everybody loves raisins, am I right? No. So far, the two things that I've tried today, I would say there are no exact equivalents in the US, so I can't say, oh my God, this is completely, totally similar to X or Y. But maybe if you're American and you know of something, let me know in the comments. Number 3 are these things. I actually don't know what they're called because my girlfriend picked them out and I've never had them before. They are called Bossche, according to the packet. Man, I wish I knew what that meant. Bossche means little feet, right? Yeah, so I can see that. They look like little feet, like little animal feet. I know my cat has Bossche, for instance. Okay, I see some nuts. I see chocolate. I mean, what's not to love just from looking at it? All right, let's go. Okay, first bite, chocolatey. Odd meringue-like thing in the middle, which is really, really sweet and it's just airy. I wish I could say that that was like in a good way, but okay, it's chocolatey and it's sweet. It's a bit too sweet for what I like, so I wouldn't reach out for these. Number 4 are these guys, kletskopen, chatterboxes, or like Chatterheads in Dutch if you literally translate it. Okay, I have no idea what these are and what these consist of. They look like a regular cookie, again with some nuts. So I've seen this nut thing going on with the bossche and also with the kletskopen. You know what? I'm just getting hungry looking at this. Oh my God. It just crumbled, but this is a nice cookie. This one is my favorite so far. So you see, when I say that I have never had as much sugar in my life since I started living here in the Netherlands, this is why. I know people say that in America there's sugar hidden in everything. That is true, very true. Not arguing with you there. But when it comes to me just seeking out just sugary stuff, yeah, you could see why that has taken on a whole other level. Moving on, I'm gonna try these things. Never had them before, just like the last one. And yeah, I'm curious because they are so pink. So I've always seen these at the supermarket and I've thought, is today gonna be the day that I'm brave enough to try these? And the answer has always been no. Until today, when my girlfriend thought it was about time that I was brave enough to try these. So, you know what it is? It's just that they're so pink that they remind me of all the artificial flavors in the US. I did not leave the US to come and have more artificial flavors. Although, next thing you know, maybe this real pink stuff is not that artificial. Okay, who knows? Who cares? Let's try it. Oh, so not bad. These are the most satisfying ones I've had so far because they look like a little cake, a mini cake, and they deliver on that promise. Whereas I felt like with the bossche, for instance, I expected a more biscuity texture and they did not deliver on that promise. So it was a bit misleading for me, but that's on me, of course, because I'm not familiar with that snack. But these guys, So if you're watching this and thinking to yourself, hey, Ava, are you going to just throw away all this food that you bought? That is so wasteful. Please, I will eat all of this. It will be gone in a couple of days. Okay, so other than seeing this at the supermarket, I don't even know if these are something Dutch people would consider typically Dutch, or they would think it is a part of their childhood, or does it evoke any memories. To me, I see it in the supermarket and I think, oh, pink cake, how cute. But maybe this means more to Dutch people than I know. Well, I don't know. But I can say that I would probably be able to find something like this in the US because it's just a nice cake with lots of sugar in it and butter. Oh my God, what am I doing to myself? All right, my friends, we have now reached the portion of the video that I've really been looking forward to. I mean, this whole video was just so that I could eat some really nice Dutch treats and sweets. But this part, I was so looking forward to because we're gonna be starting with a couple of gebakjes, and I picked two that I thought are typically Dutch, that I know are typically Dutch, and I wanted to share them with you today. So the first one we're gonna try are tompouce. I don't know why they're called tompouce. It sounds like a alley cat, you know, like a tomcat. Maybe that's what they're called, but why? Anyway, let me introduce you to the tompouce. The tompouce, my friends, is typically Dutch, and people often eat the yellow kind on Koningsdag, which is King's Day. It's a holiday in the Netherlands once a year. It's the king's birthday, and sure, you could have thoughts on the monarchy, but who doesn't like a day off? So thank you, monarchy. Anyway, so the tompouce has this like filling in the middle and biscuits around it, and then this icing. And I've had this before on King's Day and once or twice before. So I really like them. But now that I have this in front of me, I ask myself, how do I eat this? How do I eat this on camera? Why did I think that eating food on camera was a good idea? You gotta take that risk because otherwise you will deprive yourself of the tompouce. I'm not making any sense, but I am going to eat this delicious thing. And you know what? I think I'm going to opt for a fork. How do Dutch people eat this? Can I get some tips from you? How do you eat a tompouce? Because just look at it. It looks impossible to eat. Like, do I just go like that? Like just eat it? I mean, it's cut into squares, but I just don't understand. I'm gonna grab a fork, but please let me know because I'm a confused American over here. I am back with a fork. Ooh, I just squished my fork into the tompouce and it kind of just, oh no. You see, it's just impossible to eat. I mean, it's delicious, but like you've got to work for it. Okay, I kind of messed this up. Just as good as I remember. It's creamy, it's, you know, the biscuit adds a nice texture to it. You know, look at me over here pretending to be a food critic, but it's delicious. I really like the cream. And you know what? I could keep eating it. Like, I want to keep eating it. My heart wants to keep eating the tompouce, but the rest of me is really concerned that, you know, this is going to be a messy endeavor. And if you thought that was messy, wait till you see the last food item that I have for you, which is the Bossche bowl. Now, of course, you want to go to Den Bosch and have a Bossche bowl, which is a choux pastry filled with cream. Of course, I've had a Bossche bowl before because, I mean, please. So I really enjoy these choux pastry things. These are huge, as you can see. They're covered in chocolate and they have cream filling. So obviously, lots to love about the Bossche bowl, including its size. You know, I'm American. This is what I'm talking about. Large sizes. And another one of those things where I think is so messy to eat. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But my face is covered in chocolate. There was so much chocolate on my face that I had to get up and kind of clean myself over here because, it was a bit intense. Anyway, the Bossche bowl is definitely typically Dutch. Dutch people love it. You'll see it in movies, you'll see it in the pastry section, and you will not be able to hold yourself back. You cannot resist the chocolatey, creamy goodness of the Bossche bowl. So I've never had an actual Bossche bowl, but when I moved to the Netherlands, honestly, I would get one of these at least once a week because it's perfect dessert. But I would do this about once a week because I was so obsessed with these. They're just so good. And of course you get other types of pastries around the world with, you know, choux pastries filled with cream and then chocolate. Yes, but there's something about the Bossche bowl that I just love. And now that I've had one, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna go back to my weekly routine of getting one of these babies and enjoying it. So as I said I was going to do, I'm going to rank these so that if you are someone who is new to the Netherlands, you can at least see what I like to eat, and then maybe that will give you some ideas. So number 1 is the Bossche bowl. It is delicious, so you gotta get on that train and try one of these babies as soon as possible. Number 2 would be the tompouce. So clearly I gravitate towards pastries, so that's also something to keep in mind. If you're someone who likes the snacks, then maybe your ranking will be different. So tompouce are number 2. Number 3 will be the rozenkoeken. I really liked them. Those were these like pink things. I thought they'll go really well with coffee, so I totally see myself buying these again. And after that, it gets a little murky. Yeah, I liked the kletskoppen. They were also quite good. And yeah, I'd probably get them again. Number 4, and so then we have the boterkoeken and the bokkebootjes. I've kind of scattered them all over my table, so that's what I'm pointing at. And then finally, last but not least, the krentenbollen. So those were some of the Dutch food items, the Dutch sweets and treats that I wanted to share with you today. As usual, if you have anything to add, please let me know in the comments down below. Until next time.